Welcome, old soul. Now, I've been thinking about this for a little bit. Have you ever noticed that your enemies or the obstacles that in your way always seem greater than yourself? But in the majority of times, we're dealing with human beings. So, why does it feel like they are somehow have perfect memory, perfect power, they have all the money in the world, they are super smart, and you are somehow dumb, lacking resources, and forever on the verge of collapse? I realize that it has to be a trick of the mind. It has to be something, a fear response to make the enemy bigger so that you will run, hide, or at least face the threat with the appropriate force, the appropriate response. But it's counterproductive when logically you know that for the most part, a man to man, you have just as much chance to win that fight as they do. Right now, I'm kind of feeling this pressure from the outside. And there are three different forces, and they all seem impossibly stronger than me. Right? But when I think about it logically, human, human, human. Same frailties, the same ability to falter, the same, ability to die for circumstances. They're facing their own things, but for some reason, I feel like I'm lesser. I guess the only equalizer is going to be the fact that do you believe in a higher power or not? Which goes back to my last video. If you believe in a higher power, then you are under that power's authority, and it's not based on your own strength. And if it's not based on your own strength, why are you putting so much stock in the obstacles in front of you? The only question that you really should have is what you're doing aligned with your greater purpose? Is what you're doing aligned with what the higher authority wants? And will those obstacles be removed based on what you are doing, because it's going to carry out that person's will? If you have that mentality, then what happens is it removes that fear response from you. Doesn't mean that you are invincible and you can do whatever you want, but it really comes down to who has the strongest will. Who is willing to endure more pain, more obstructions, more distractions? And I think that is why we always give the other person, the other group, all of this stratagem and authority. But we never suspect that they also are worried about us, because all the resources and time and energy that they're placing in attacking us, they are worried about us. If we moved with a certain realization of the power, the intelligence, the ability that we have, we would move in a much more calm environment. Not because we're guaranteed to win every time, but the only permanent loss is death. So if it's an emotional thing, we'll get over it. If it's a financial thing, God willing, we'll get over it. So I think what you have to say to yourself is, do I believe in what I am doing? And am I willing to stand firm? And if you're willing to stand firm and you're confident in what you're doing, and it is in line with what you believe and what you believe your higher authority believes, then who can ever unmoor you? Who can stop you? Because a lot of the people that you deal with, and they have this evil mentality or this negative mentality, and you always think, well, bad people always get it. No. The good, strong, honorable people usually fold because they assume that the other side will never fold. And that's why when you propose that we change the way society is run, you are terrified. But they're terrified of a individual that is not controllable, that's not able to be bargained with, and who doesn't need them. So I'm advocating for you to be individually, personally free. And when you have that kind of mentality and that focus, all of your opponents seem smaller. I want you to think about that. I'm not going to go and over explain it. We'll have plenty of videos to do that. But why do you think that they have all the power when you were divinely made just like them? And you've seen the great people fall, and what a great fall. And you've seen people who are low rise up. But you seem to think that you're outside of that equilibrium and that somehow it won't work for you. But that is a trick of the mind, and that is a trick of society. And I wish that both of us will approach this with the mentality that we have as much power as everyone else. And if our goal is to change society and to make it stronger, then all the authority is with us.